we just had a really awesome class in Kennesaw. Hey, Chad from Carrollton, thank you for joining us. So there were, I can't remember how many people were there, 11. I think there were 11 people there. And we talked all about making a grocery list and everything. So we are going to look at a lot of those things tonight. Tonight, while you are listening to this webinar, if you have pen and paper, please go ahead and start making a grocery list, because that's one of the most important things that you can do is go ahead and start making a grocery list. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to share my screen with you, and it is going to be a website link that you will get in the new member fast track group. If you are not in the Shibboleth new member fast track group, yay! Marla joined us, Marla Curry, and she said super great class in Kennesaw. Awesome. I'm glad you were there. It was so nice to meet you. So nice to meet you. So I'm going to share my screen, but you're going to get this link in a post in the Shibboleth new member fast track group. It's going to come out about 9:15. If you are not in that group already, please make sure to ask to be a member of that group, okay, on Facebook. And then each day, how many of you watched the post from this morning? The little video of me showing you how to use the website, where I want you to go and everything. Who watched that this morning? I'll be super excited that you did. Please tell me that you watched that, because those videos in the morning, they're not on the website. So they are there for me to help you shorten your learning curve on learning the website. Because the more that you spend time on the website, the more successful you are going to be. We have that data. We have that data to prove that. All right, so let's share my screen here. Get my chat back up. Okay, so can everybody see? Awesome, Jody watched it, that's great. Well, that post, Judy, that post, and Maureen, that post comes out in the Shibboleth new member fast track. It is a recorded video, and it comes out before 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you would just need to go to the Shibboleth new member fast track group and just check out for that day's video. And then that way you can watch it. Awesome. Okay, can everybody see? Oh, and if you're asking for the other thing that I do in the morning, that is just a little daily devotion and morning motivation that we call the Shibby Show. And I do that, that's between 7:15 and 7:30 that I start that. But the video that I'm talking about is a recorded video of me showing you how to use the website. That comes out before 6 a.m. as a post in the Shibboleth new member fast track group. All right, so this is the way what we're going to do tonight is the part of learning Shibboleth is just knowing the combinations that you need and knowing the categories of the foods that you like. So you don't have to eat anything on Planet Shibboleth that you do not like. You've got to focus on the foods that you do like. But I need for you to start brainstorming all the foods that you like and then look them up in the food library so that you start to familiarize yourself with that. And part of what we're going to do tonight will help you with that. If you see things that you like in these little columns, I need you to write those down to make your grocery list, okay? And then like on a separate sheet of paper, if you've got paper there, write down something that you might put together from the combinations that you see tonight. So what I'm going to do tonight is every single time I come to a new list, I'm going to read those items out, because hearing and knowing those items is helpful. Then the very first time we're going to go over cooking oils, and the very first time we see condiments, we're going to go over condiments. I'll not continue to go over those every single time. Okay, so let's have a look at lean protein. Lean protein, category 1. So sometimes you might see that on your combination chart as LP. That's just shortened so that we can have room to put all the information we need to on the combination chart. You can have 2 to 8 ounces, 2 to 8 ounces. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. You can have 2 to 8 ounces of that. You could do egg whites, Fish, all of your fish is a category 1 lean protein. Now, I'm going to go ahead and ask you a question. Last night, I said that I was going to ask you some questions tonight. And one of those things was, what other category is really just a lean protein? I want y'all to type that in your chat. What other category is really just a lean protein? That's right. That's right. Seven. Category 7, which is shellfish. So anything that doesn't swim like a regular fish, doesn't even have to have a shell, it's in shellfish. Awesome. That's great. Thank y'all for listening. Chicken breast. Now that is not chicken with skin, and that's not dark meat chicken or chicken wings, things like that. This is chicken breast. Those other things I just mentioned are a protein plus fat. Turkey breast, pork tenderloin. That's not a pork chop. Okay, pork chop is a protein plus fat, but pork tenderloin is leaner, so it gets to be a category 1. Boar's head turkey, boar's head chicken breast, boar's head London broil, low-fat cottage cheese, fat-free cottage cheese, Greek plain yogurt, Hebrew National 97% lean beef frank, and 96% lean ground meat. Now, did everybody see something that they like right here? I hope that you did. And if you will have this list later. So if you just want to make a grocery list later, you can just kind of focus and think right now and use this later because you will have a link to it. But I hope everybody saw something that they like right there. Now, remember last night we learned that there are 7 categories of food, and there are 5 of them that you can eat just by themselves. You don't even have to pair them with anything else. And lean protein is one of those things. You see this flame and this plus sign? This means that this is going to be excellent for fat burning. And one of the things I mentioned in class tonight is, you know how everybody just goes, I need to lose weight. Well, we don't need that weight coming from muscle, tendons, ligaments, heart mass. We don't need that weight coming from those places. We really want to lose fat, not just weight. We got to be specific when we're talking about what we're trying to access. And this would be great for fat burning. Now let's look at the cooking oils. We have some approved cooking oils. 100% MCT oil is our most highly recommended. We do suggest that you buy the Zero Drag brand from us. You don't have to. It's okay if you don't. If you don't want to buy that from us for some reason, the Now brand is the other brand that we recommend. It can be found on Amazon. But the Zero Drag has been optimized for cooking, and that is the purpose for which we are going to use MCT oil. See, there's a lot of purposes out there for MCT oil, but we are in the, hold on, I gotta write something down. We are in the situation, the nutritional situation of weight loss. We are in that nutritional situation. So we use MCT for the purpose of cooking a simple meal on the stove. You can use it in a recipe, and you can use it to make salad dressings with. But we don't make bulletproof coffee with it. We don't put it in our shakes, and we do not take it as a supplement. Now, there are people that have different nutritional situations, maybe a bodybuilder or something like that. They may take those things in that way, but that's not what we're trying to achieve. And so that's why we use MCT oil in the way that we do. And we need it to be optimized for cooking. So the Zero Drag we trust a lot, and that's what we use. That's what I use. The things that we sell in our store are the things that Travis has found over 20 years that he uses. So he just wants the people that he's helping to also know about the products that he uses. That's as simple as why we have a store. He says that he is selfish and just likes to find things that he likes to eat. And so he has been on a quest for 20 years to find the best things for him. That makes him feel like he's getting what he always had before, but with better results. So, so that's why we have a store. And we have a store in Dalton and in Kennesaw. If you are not near one of those locations, just shop online, $30 order or more ships for free. So when you are looking to buy MCT oil though, you want to make sure that it's not emulsified. You want to make sure on the bottle that it doesn't say that you shouldn't cook with it, since we're using it for that purpose. You also want to make sure that it's not just repackaged coconut oil. Even though coconut oil is our second recommended, MCT oil is the best. See, coconut oil is only 60% MCTs. And if they are trying to pull the wool over your eyes and saying this is MCT oil, when really it's just repackaged coconut oil, you're not getting 100% coconut oil. So you got to make sure it's 100% coconut oil. And that's why it's the safest, just to buy it from us, or the secondary brand would be the Now brand. Yeah, Maureen, you can do that. Hemp parts and MCT oil, that's fine. And then our third recommended is ghee butter, so GHEE. And that, should be used when your item that you're making, maybe shrimp scampi or something like that, it needs to have some butter flavor. Or maybe you're going to have some crab legs and you want to dip it in some butter flavor. That's what you would use ghee butter. Ghee butter is a clarified butter, and it has more MCTs in it once it's been clarified. You can also use hemp oil, and you can use 0-calorie cooking spray. And I'll remind you, I had a great question recently, and it was, why would I choose to use MCT oil that has calories in it versus a 0-calorie cooking spray? Well, MCT oil has a muscle preserving effect, and it has a metabolism building effect, where the 0-calorie cooking spray does not. Now, this is how I use the MCT oil. When I am cooking a lean protein or a fibrous carb, and I want to use MCT oil for whatever that is, then I use that. But I don't use MCT oil with a protein plus fat. It already has fat there. I use a 0-calorie cooking spray if I need something to help it from sticking or something in the pan for that. So I use that as my decision. So what this is saying is you can put a lean protein cooked up in the right oil, and you can throw on your condiments on there, just doctor it up, and it'll taste great. Now, I want to read through these condiments, and we do have a link in the food library that gives you a list of lots and lots and lots of condiments. But not everything that can be used as a condiment is going to make it into the food library. That would be huge, because you can use a lot of things for condiments if you follow a simple rule. We'll go over that second. Okay, we can use 0-calorie condiments, which are really best. We sell 0-calorie Walden Farm products in our store. You may see Walden Farms products out in other stores, but some of the Walden Farms products are sugar-free and some are fat-free. But just because it says sugar-free or fat-free on there doesn't mean that it's 0-calorie. All right, so we sell the 0-calorie. So I'm just letting you know that way if you see some Walden Farms out at a store, get really excited. Oh, it says sugar-free, and you want to buy it, check the back. The 0-calorie ones are best. You can use 15-calorie or less spices and seasonings. A lot of little seasoning packets, maybe a taco seasoning packet and that kind of thing, may have 15 calories or less in it. Salt, pepper, 15-calorie or less coffee creamers. You can have coffee on Shibboleth. That's not a problem. You just want to make sure that you are using an approved coffee creamer and 15 calories or less of an approved coffee creamer. Salsa, reduced sugar ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, Kraft fat-free mayo. So those are just a few condiments. There's thousands in the food library. But let's say that you're walking down the aisle in the grocery store and you go, I want to buy some barbecue sauce. And so you go to the app, or you go to the website, you look up food library and you look up condiments, or you type in something and you can't find it. It's not in there. Well, not everything is going to be in there. So the rule is the 5, 2, and few rule. 5, 2, and few rule. I'm going to explain what the 5, 2, and few rule is, and then Maureen, we're going to have to take a little field trip and look up salsa, because I have no idea what salsa is. So we're going to look it up and we're going to see. It's just on this list I teach from. Travis made up this list. He's tried a lot of things over 20 years to figure out that they work. But the 5, 2, and few rule is this. When something is not listed in the food library and you want to use it as a condiment, you're going to look at the nutritional label. You're going to look for the number of sugars, how many grams of sugar a serving has in it. If it has 5 grams of sugar or less per serving and 2 grams of fat or less per serving, and you're not going to use a total of more than 50 calories worth of condiments on a meal, then you can use whatever you want to as a condiment, as long as it meets that rule. But let me put it to you this way. Let's say that you want a slice of cheese and you want some ketchup on a 96% lean ground beef hamburger patty. If your approved cheese has 30 calories in it, then you've got 20 more to do ketchup with. Mustard is great because it's 0 calories, so you can always get your mustard in. So you want to just keep that in mind. So you can use multiple condiments, they just should not go over 50 calories. Now, I also want to tell you to be very choosy with your condiments. There's going to be a time where you go, wait a minute, that condiment didn't even help that food taste any different. You might just be used to slapping a piece of cheese on everything that you eat. Well, if you find that cheese is not really making the difference in the way that tastes, I would quit slapping that on there, because every calorie that is not spared from your meal is the calorie that is not being reduced from your calorie deficit. Okay, so we just want to keep that in mind. You can have up to 50 calories of condiments on every meal. That would be 150 calories a day. And then times 7, it's 1,050, I believe. And so condiments, and calories. So that's why 0-calorie condiments are truly the best. I would just be really choosy with that. So even though we're going to teach you absolutely everything that you can do on the program, I want you to know that absolutely everything that you can do is not expedient. We're going to teach you everything that is lawful for you to still have a perfect day, but it just depends on how fast you want to get to where you're going. So if you want to see lots of great progress, you're going to do things that are more expedient. If you just want to take the scenic route to the beach, then you could go and do things a little bit slower. Okay, but that's up to you. We're going to teach you how to do it fast. You make those decisions. We are going to look up salsa because I've never had the question. I just go over that and I just do that. So we're going to go to my profile. Can y'all still see my screen? I'm hoping so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the green tab that is food. Thank you. The resources. We're going to go to approved food library. I am going to type in this search bar salsa, and we're going to let it generate. There we go. We got salsa and salsa spicy. Do you see this right here? It says 0 on the weight loss meter, 0 on the weight loss meter. The weight loss meter, see how it is right here? Weight loss meter. See how it says -3, and then there's a little ball. There's a line right here, and then there's another ball, and there's a +3. And see how I'm hovering right there, and it gives you a range, a -3 to a 3. That means it's showing you everything in the food library. But if you really want to know things that are really good for you in a certain category, you take this little ball and you slide it down and you set it, and it recalculates whatever you have pulled up, okay? This was a small list, so it didn't really work, but that's really great. So negative numbers are better for weight loss. 0 is not going to help you, not going to hurt you, but if you do over it, more and more and more of that, could be a little slow. Positive numbers are really best for maintenance, but they will not throw you out of efficient fat burning if you do happen to eat one, okay? So let's look at this salsa. There you go. There is salsa. And do you see how it says condiments? It can be used as a condiment. You would want to use 50 calories or less. It even gives you the approved portion. 1 tablespoon is recommended. I love this website. See, I no longer have to be curious about all this stuff, and I did not have to do the work to figure it out. Somebody else did. Y'all be saying hallelujah about that. And this says you may have up to 50 calories in total condiments per serving per meal, but we already talked about that. Great in your survival kit to dress up any approved restaurant item. So they're giving you a way to use that right there. So this is what salsa is. Does anybody like salsa? I have no idea. While we are right here, if it had any linked recipes to it, they would be listed here. And look right here. 3 people have confirmed they found it at Kroger. 1 person has confirmed they found it at Food City, and 2 people have confirmed they found this at Ingles. Now, this information here is generated by members entering this data. It's not us entering this data. So if you find stuff at a grocery store, please feel free to go in here and add that so that we can know. So that's what salsa is, and it also looks like there is a spicy variety as well. All right, we're going to head back over here and we're going to look at this one. Now, I'm just going to read the shellfish here because we've already gone over the oils and the condiments, but remember, shellfish was one of those of the categories that you can eat by itself. You can have 2 to 8 ounces. Crab, lobster, shrimp, scallops, oysters, mussels, clams, all of those things. And you can have it with the right oil, doctor it up, and you've got an excellent fat-burning meal. So now we're going to scroll down and we're going to look a little bit more. Now, I am not an expert on hemp products, but if you go into the video library under, I believe it is Travis's phase two classes, and phase two life lessons or something like that, there is one on hemp seeds and hemp hearts that is an amazing, amazing video. And if you're interested in using hemp products, I would highly recommend that you watch that because it's going to give you lots and lots of ideas, and hemp is very, very good for you. So what we've done right here is we've got our category 1, we got our cooking fat, and we've got our condiments. But you can do the addition of hemp products if you want to. Hemp hearts, hemp flakes, very sweet hemp flakes, hemp protein powder, and hemp oil. The items that I have used are hemp hearts, hemp flakes, and very sweet hemp flakes. The very sweet hemp flakes are hemp flakes. They just have a little bit of maple syrup taste in it. But it's not like overly powering maple syrup. It's also got a little mesquite flavoring to it, and it sounds like an interesting mixture. It doesn't taste like maple syrup or mesquite. Whatever they did to it, it's really, really good. This is interesting how you start to try things. I did one night a chicken breast, but in a little bowl next to it, instead of broccoli, instead of green beans, instead of something like that, I put, you can do 3 to 5 tablespoons. And so I put, 3 to 5 tablespoons in a bowl, and I ate it like I was eating some cereal, and without a milk. I didn't do any milk. I was just eating it with a spoon. It was so good. It was like I was having a dessert with my chicken breast, and sweet hemp flakes are a category 1 and 2. That is a awesome, awesome thing. It's a 1 and a 2. So it's giving you protein and fiber all in that same thing. Now, hemp hearts are a little bit different. I like to use those on a salad, on a fibrous carb salad, because that'll give you some good protein. Now, hemp hearts are actually a category 6 superfood. Now, if you are thinking about nutrition, superfood is, let's look at, well, hemp hearts are a category, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. I want to ask you a question first, and then I'm going to get my tongue straight. How does a food end up in the superfood category? What qualifies a food? Because I told you I was going to ask you this. What qualifies a food to be in the superfood category? Y'all can type that in the chat feature. Awesome, Maureen. It has all of the macronutrients in there. So it's got water, it's got protein, it's got carbs, and it's got fat. Awesome. It's got all of the macronutrients. So hemp hearts are a category 6, so it has all the macronutrients. It is actually a 10 on, let's just say, a wellness meter, but it would be more like an 8 on the weight loss meter. That's still pretty high. Okay, so even using either one is fine. But hemp flakes are going to be more like a 10 on the weight loss meter, where they would be more like an 8 on the wellness meter. Still, both of those are pretty high. I just like to let you know that. And so you could put something here. A lot of people like to take the Greek plain yogurt, put some very sweet hemp flakes in there, and then put a condiment amount of blueberries or something in there. Makes a great little morning parfait. So you can do that. So you can put category 1 with your hemp flakes in the right oil and your condiments. Let's scroll up a little bit more. This is simple again. All they're doing is putting their category 7 shellfish with some hemp products, cooking it up in the right oil, throwing on some condiments. Now, Travis likes to make shrimp scampi, and I think I've seen him throw some hemp flakes on there before, just to give it some flavor and a little bit of taste. So that he does that. We have come to a spot where we have a new category. This category is a category 2 fibrous carb. You could use a half a cup up to 1 cup. When you see these measurements on here, keep in mind that the smaller measurement is really for weight loss, and this larger measurement would be better for maintenance, okay? Because you're still using your 2-hand rule, but when you get to maintenance, you can do just a little bit more if you would like to. Let's read these. Broccoli, asparagus, squash, okra, green leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, cucumbers, bell peppers, hot peppers, cauliflower, kraut, and dill pickles. So all of those are category 2 fibrous carbs. Now, there are basically 3 categories that you may see or think the over umbrella term of vegetable in: fibrous carb, energy carb, and superfoods, you're going to see a lot of things that you would just consider a vegetable. But not all of them break down in your body the same way. So that's why you need to start writing down all the vegetables that you like and look them up and make sure you know which category they are in case you need to combine them very, very specifically. You could actually eat any of these by themselves if you wanted to. You don't even have to combine them. But this right here, something from this list and something from this list, and then if you used MCT to cook it, would be your fastest fat burning meal. So let's just say chicken breast with broccoli and MCT, that is exercise on a plate. The reason that is exercise on a plate is it takes almost as many calories to break down and digest the protein in this and the fiber in this, and you've given it the extra metabolism building effect of MCT oil. Exercise on a plate. That's my kind of exercise on a plate. So category 1 and 2 plus MCT is your fastest, but anything from this category cooked up with the right oil, with the right condiments, is a great fat burning meal. We're going to scroll down a little bit more, and because category 7, which is just a subcategory of category 1, can also be put with a category 2 and cooked up in MCT oil and have your fastest fat burning meal if you're looking for the fastest. We're going to scroll down a little bit more. Category 6, superfood. Okay, pintos, black beans, red beans, soybeans. Those are all beans. But then we got peanut butter, and we got nuts and seeds and all of that. So this is where you're going to find a large variety of food in here. And superfoods vary greatly in their amounts of protein, carbs, and fat. So nuts are more fatty, whereas beans are more carby and proteiny. So it's just kind of one of those things where we put the category 6 superfood there, and then we tell you what not to eat with it so that to keep yourself safe. But if we really wanted to get to the nitty gritty, some of that probably could be eaten with different things, but we keep it really, really simple in the beginning, because all you're doing over your life of living Shibboleth is you will continue to advance in your knowledge of what you do. But once you've lost any weight that you want to lose, not weight, fat. Once you've burned off all the fat that you want to burn off, you might be thinking more wellness things, maintenance and wellness, and then you'll dig into those other things. Did you see how the flame went away? That had flame. This is still great for fat burning. These are just excellent for fat burning. This is still going to help you with fast fat loss. But you can take any of these things, and this is giving you an amount that you could use if you were eating it by itself. If you're using this as a part of a meal, we're looking about half a cup, because you're going to have to portion control that, okay, underneath your hands. But if you're using this and eating it by itself, you could go up to that amount. And then you could throw on the right condiment and have a great fat burning meal. What this row right here is showing you is you can take some superfood, which is category 6, and put it with any category 2, doctor it up with the right condiments, and have a great fat burning meal. Travis calls this your greens and beans. That's where you get your greens and beans. All right, we're going to scroll up a little bit more, and we're going to see category 4, protein plus fat. So this is great for fat burning. There is no reason to be afraid of that because it has the word fat in it. Our body needs fat for certain functions. It's going to take that and it's going to use it as it needs to be used. And this fat will actually get burned up as energy as long as we combine it properly. This one in my head goes ding, 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 ding. I have got to properly pair that. Otherwise, I'm going to be storing this fat. We can do one of two things when we eat this. We can store it or we can not store it. Well, I think we're tired of storing it. So we're going to do what we can to not store it. So look at this though, 2 to 6 ounces. You're going to go down just a little bit in your ounces of this. You're still going to be getting the same amount of calories or possibly more, who knows, but because here's why. In protein, there is 4 calories per gram. In fat, there's 9 calories per gram. So we have to go down just a little bit. But some things that are in this category is whole eggs. See, egg whites are in your lean protein. Your whole eggs are here. All cuts of steak are here. Pork ribs, beef ribs, Hormel turkey spam, pulled pork, beef brisket, 93% lean up to 95.9% lean ground meat. If it's not as lean as this, if it's 92 or below, it's not approved. Lean ground meat that's below 93 is not approved, okay? Turkey kielbasa works as long as 50% of the calories or more are not from fat. So you can have any of that. Just want to let you know, this is one of the categories that you can eat by itself. But optimally, it would be combined with a category 2 fibrous carb, doctored up with the right condiments, and you have a great fat-burning meal. Who can tell me the 3 categories that you do not want to eat with a category 4 protein plus fat? And y'all can start guessing if you need to, but just go ahead and type it in there. Awesome, Jody. 3, 5, and 6. That's awesome. Yeah, so you do not want to eat your category 4 protein plus fat with category 3, which is your energy carb, category 5, which is fruit, or category 6, which is superfood, because those foods bring a little bit more of an insulin release. And so you don't want to, good job, Judy. Judy and Jody, you don't want to pair that with the fat part, okay? Because if you bring an insulin release, you've got a little bit of the fat bus out there and you don't want it to go seeking out that fat to store it, because that's what happens. Awesome. No hemp hearts with the category 4 protein plus fat. You probably could do that, Maureen. I would want to ask Travis about that one, but in our world, me teaching brand new shibboleth to keep you as safe as possible, I would say no to that. I would stick with my hemp hearts with categories 1, 7, or 2s. That's what I would do. Yeah, that's excellent. I have a big old one too. We can ask Travis about that. Just, I would just be careful without putting it with this. I do a lot of them on salads and everything. And here's the thing, you do not want to add hemp hearts just to absolutely everything, because they have calories. And you want to use them as they're directed. That's why it's going to be important, Maureen, since you bought a big container of them recently, watch that video so that you know all the different ways that you can use it, okay? I really like them on a salad, but you can use them in different ways. So let's just remind you, because I want you to have this in here so much. The classic plate of a steak and a baked potato. The baked potato brings an insulin release. Insulin is a hormone it's a growth hormone focused on fat storage. So the insulin comes out and it is going to go seek out the fat that was in the steak. It's just the way that it works. So now that you know that happens, you don't want to do that on a perfect shibboleth day. If you still want a steak and a baked potato, you could have that up to 6 days a month. Just have it on your holidays. Okay, you can have it on a holiday. So there's nothing that you can't have on Planet Shibboleth. It just depends on what day you choose to eat it on. But on a perfect day, you'd want to have it with something from this list. Okay, we have a new category here. Category 3, energy carb. It says 1/4 cup up to 1/2 cup. 1/4 cup would be best for weight loss. 1/2 cup you could go up to in maintenance, but I have heard people say 1/2 cup doesn't work for me. So it just depends on when you get to maintenance, you can play and do those little bits right there. But all potatoes are in this category. Oatmeal, steel cut oats, whey control oatmeal, long grain brown rice, the real stuff, not the instant. Quinoa, lima beans, peas, all of your peas are here. Tomato and onion are here if you are using it as a major part of your meal and it's making up a large part of the meal. Otherwise, those can be used as condiments. Carrots actually can be a freebie if they are raw. If they're cooked, they're definitely a category 3 because there's a lot more sugar in that. See, sometimes cooking changes the nutritional response in your body. Whole wheat pasta and whole grain pasta, you can use those. I'm not a fan of those. I use the Explore Cuisine black bean pasta. It is excellent, and it is not a category 3. It is a category 1 and 2 together. Carbonara pasta is also great. It's a category 1, 2, and 3. There is, let's see, let's go over here and look up skinny pasta because I'm not sure. Just to let y'all know, I keep this website up on my computer at all times. That way I can easily access it. You know, I want this to be such an important part of my life, and I'm willing to go and check everything when I need to. And when I visit a website often, I leave it up on the on my computer. Skinny pasta, let's click it. Okay, so skinny pasta is on here, Maureen. It's a category 2 fibrous carb, so that's excellent. And it also says that it's a freebie. So these are freebies, but it's always best to use the hand rule even with freebies so that you don't stretch your stomach. If you are getting to the point where your stomach is feeling stretched, you've already eaten too much. So let's see what this says. Skinny pasta. Oh, this is very similar to that Miracle noodles and Miracle rice. We sell those in the Shibola store as well. So skinny pasta is made from, oh, I don't even know what that word is. I'll let y'all read it. And the following shapes, anyway. But anyway, it's a freebie or a fibrous carb. So excellent, excellent. I didn't even know that. So let's go back right here. So you're going to have something from this list. Category 3 is also one of those things that in my mind, I've trained myself to go ding, 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 ding. I have got to pair this properly. Now, so let's say that I want some black-eyed peas. So I want some black-eyed peas. I'm going to do about a 1/4 cup of black-eyed peas. So there they sit right there, black-eyed peas. But I'm using my 2-hand rule, and I don't want to have to pull out measuring tools. So I'm going to do my black-eyed peas right there. And then what might, y'all give me some answer in the chat feature. What might you like to eat from this category 1 with black-eyed peas? Okay, some fish with black-eyed peas, chicken, great, awesome, chicken, good. Okay, now keep in mind that we also have to pick something. That's a must pick something from this category 2. Category 2 too. So what would you put with that? So, okay, and Andrea said pork tenderloin. What would you pick from the category 2 to put with what you chose from category 1 and some black-eyed peas? Squash, broccoli squash, awesome, awesome. Peppers, awesome. Very good. So you've just made a meal. You have made a properly combined meal with 3 lovely flavors, and you're just going to portion control it, okay? So let's say we put our squash here, our black-eyed peas here, and our fish here. Delicious, or whatever you picked. That's just the way it works. And you can still use your condiments and everything. Yep, cucumbers. That's great. Okay, so this right here would be a great fat-burning meal. Now, I want to explain to you what's going on with this meal. So those black-eyed peas that you ate do bring a little bit of an insulin release. Is there any fat in these things? Any fat in these things? Is there any fat in lean protein? Is there any fat in fibrous carbs here? Are there any fat in those 3 categories? Andrea says, how would you cook black-eyed peas? I'm pretty simple myself. I would pour them straight out of the can and then just salt and pepper them. But if you've got a better way of cooking them, you can, but that's how I would cook them. So there's no fat in these things. That's right, there's no fat. So there was a little bit of an insulin release. And first of all, you didn't overeat those black-eyed peas. So the insulin came out due to them, but there was no fat for it to pick it up. But because you now know that you need to pair them with a lean protein and a fibrous carb, the protein in the lean protein and the fiber in the fibrous carb help to neutralize the insulin release that came from there. You will be out of efficient fat burning for, I mean, just minute amount of time, but it's not worth worrying about. And so this is why it's an approved perfect day meal. You can use, I would use, make sure it's fat-free bouillon, but you can use bouillon cubes to cook beans. So yeah, I would just look those up and see the different kinds that are in there. But yeah, you could do that. So let's scroll down here and look, we have a new category, fruit. So berries, apples, oranges, grapefruit, plums, grapes, bananas. If you'll notice, it said half a banana. Peaches, pineapple, kiwi. Now I'm gonna draw a line right here under this grapefruit. Berries, apples, oranges, and grapefruit are your best if you really wanna know. Yeah, if you're missing fruit, just eat it. Eat it in the right combination. So here's the thing about fruit. For your rest of your life, because see, this is a lifestyle, okay? This is a nutrition education that you have decided to learn so that you can do something for the rest of your life because it's important. Energy carbs have always got to be combined properly for us for the rest of our life to have a perfect day. If you want to have one by itself on a holiday, you can still do that, okay? But if to have a perfect day, you've got to combine them properly. Fruit must be combined properly in weight loss. Once you get to maintenance, you can have a serving of fruit by itself as a snack if you wanted to. You can do that in maintenance. But see, weight loss and maintenance are two different nutritional situations. So if you are in the weight loss mode, you have got to pair your fruit with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. You can have watermelon, Maureen. Watermelon's fine. It's any fruit, any fruit. This is just small list because we can't list everything. But yeah, I mean, watermelon's fine. You can do watermelon. Now, with that watermelon, you know what that watermelon might look like for you, Maureen? I'm just going to give an example. July 4th's coming up. If there's some watermelon at where you are, and they have a 96% lean ground meat hamburger patty, and then you've had some, let's just say you had some green beans with it, and you could have fruit. You could have some watermelon, and you can eat that, and it would be like a dessert after that. You've done the right combination, so that's totally fine. You just have to do that in weight loss, but you can have any fruit. But if you're looking for the best ones, I'm going to draw a line right under this grapefruit. But you just pair it with the right stuff, okay? I hope this is making sense. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get into some other things that are approved. I love this program because we just show you everything that you can use and how to put it together. Used to, I was putting things together that really didn't work and weren't doing me any favors, but this program just lays it out for you, which is awesome. So we do not ask that you give up any items. We do ask that you find an alternative to an item that's not working for you. So there's a lot of breads out there that do not work. The whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead. So let's not eat the wrong bread. Now, category 2 breads. This is a hallelujah moment that there are category 2 breads. That's great. This means that these breads and a whole bunch more, there's over 60 approved breads or bread type items in the food library. What this means is these break down in your body more like a green bean does rather than energy carb does. So this is great. So switch out, if you're using a tortilla that's not approved, just switch over your tortilla. So the La Tortilla Factory 50 calorie tortilla is Travis's favorite. And we do sell those in the Cibola store only because the 50 calorie one's a little bit harder to find other places. It may be hard to find in general. That's what we do. See, in our store, we try to sell things that are not easy to find at grocery stores. Olay Extreme Wellness High Fiber Tortilla works. Healthy Life Bread, which I think is also called Lewis bread. Nature's Own Double Fiber Wheat Bread, but not all Nature's Own stuff qualifies to be a category 2. Their buns are a 3. Bran Crisp bread, which is more like a cracker. It kind of bothers me that they call it a bread because it's really crispy. It's like a cracker. Healthy Life hot dog buns and Thomas Light 100 calorie English muffins. Those are all just some items that work. I have found that I really like the Joseph's mini pitas and the Joseph's lavish bread, those type of things. So there's lots of breads that you can use that are category 2s. My friend Nikki Kyle has lost 92 pounds eating approved peanut butter and jelly sandwiches almost every single day because that's what she likes. That's what she was eating before Cibola. She just switched it over and she's lost weight, which is great, or burned fat. Approved sweeteners, stevia, Splenda, monk fruit, xylitol. And I'm going to go ahead and hit this artificial sweetener thing real quick. This does not mean we are promoting this. What we are doing is we are telling you absolutely that everything that can be used, you then choose. It is depending upon your leanings. If you do not like artificial sweeteners, don't use them. If you don't care, then it's approved because you can you can burn fat using this. My preference is xylitol. I really like this xylitol. I was using that before Cibola. But, The Healthy Life 80 calorie hamburger buns, those are approved as a category 2. Let's look real quick. Healthy Life, I already looked at those up at some other port. I don't buy buns, I'm just not a bun lady, but let's see. Hamburger bun. We'll click here and see if it says sandwich bun means that. Okay, so here's this Healthy Life one. If this one's the one you're asking about, Maureen, it's a category 2 fibrous carb, one bun. Yep, so that works. So what that means is if you wanted a hamburger with a bun, you use the 96% lean ground beef. You could do the bun, and you could put some little side item next to it, which would be great. Okay, so approved beverages. We need to be getting our water in because water is very, very important. We've got to hydrate. So you want to drink at least 64 ounces, but head it up to 128 ounces your gallon. And I was just telling in class tonight, I'd kind of gone away from the gallon. I'd always gotten my minimum. I've been hitting about 80 or 90, but I'm actually a little bit more hungry. So that water helps me out so much. So try to get your water in because it's really, really important. But you need to have at least a minimum in of 64 ounces. Any 0 calorie beverage is fine. You can have unsweet or approved tea. And then, like I said earlier, coffee, but only with approved sweeteners. Now, none of this takes the place of getting your water in. Water would be ultimate, important, and these are just in addition. All right, let's look at some cheese. You could use cheese as a component, like a category 1. So if you want to make an approved grilled cheese, you could take 4 slices of, I'm going to say Borden fat-free cheese because it's my favorite, 4 slices of that with, I would use Sara Lee 45 calorie delightful bread, spray it with, I can't believe it's not butter spray, you got an approved grilled cheese. Put that next to some health-wise soup from the Cibola store, the tomato soup, you have a wonderful meal that's going to be really great. But let's look at some approved things. Fat-free feta cheese, Kraft fat-free cheese, Borden fat-free cheese, Cabot extra light cheese. I like that one a lot. Laura Lynn fat-free cheese, Kroger brand fat-free cheese, Lifetime fat-free cheese. This is Travis's favorite. He buys it from the website. All right, let's look over here at milks. It's important to go over the milks because just any old milk is not going to work. Whole milk is full of sugar and fat. Then you keep going down, they're still full of sugar. They just have less fat, and they don't have the additional protein that they need. So this is why we choose to use fat-free Fairlife milk, Kroger Carb Master milk, hemp milk. Okay, if you're going to use it as a component of a meal, you can use up to 8 ounces of it. If you're going to use it with cereal, what I would do is I would look up that cereal and see how much milk they recommend that you eat with that, because it could vary depending on the starchiness of that cereal and how much protein you need to offset that starchiness. If you just want to get up and drink a big old glass of milk for your breakfast, you can do up to 16 ounces. Or maybe at night, you just want to have a big old glass of milk for dinner because you really don't eat much at night, then you could do 16 ounces. Let's look at some breadings and flours. So you can lightly bread things and it kind of improves well, I wouldn't say improves, but it enhances a flavor of something. I really like to take chicken strips, chicken breast strips, and toss that around in some Carb Quick and cook that up in some MCT. Is very, very good. But coconut flour, Carb Quick flour, Bob's TVP, and almond flour are all great. This Carb Quick flour is considered a category 2 fibrous carb. So you can make yourself some biscuits, some Carb Quick biscuits, and have it as a category 2 fibrous carb. Let me tell you right now, do not use any of the recipes on their box. They did not take into account the other Shibboleth recipe and approved rules when they put those on those boxes. They don't care about what Shibboleth says to do, but they, so don't use those. But there are pages and pages of recipes with Carb Quick in it on our recipe library, Okay, Maureen is asking, in my opinion, what's the best peanut butter? Peanut butter is very greatly, so you can get Jif, which is not going to be your best, but it does work. Skippy Natural, you know, those kind of things, they work. But if you really want the best peanut butter, it depends on two things. Are you a person who wants quantity? If you want quantity, you're going to want to do the better. It says better in peanut butter. So better in peanut butter, you could actually have 4 tablespoons as a component of a meal and 2 as a snack. So if you want quantity, do that one. Otherwise, the nuts and more peanut butter or the peanut butter and company. But really the nuts and more is even better. It has a lot of protein in it and it has really great flavors. I mean, fun, super fun flavors, and it is absolutely delicious. People go nuts over it. So if I was gonna, I actually don't even eat peanut butter, but if I was gonna buy peanut butter, I would do the nuts and more myself for the flavor of it. Yes, Jody, cheeseburger pie is made with Carb Quick, and she says it's delicious. Made it last night. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so let's look here. Yeah, Peanut Butter and Company is really good. And they've got the bee's knees, which tastes honey-like. They've got cinnamon raisin. They have white chocolate dreams, and then they have a chocolate one. On the nuts and more, let's look it up just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure the nuts and more is 2 tablespoons as a component of a meal and 1 as a snack. But let's see. It's a superfood. 1 tablespoon as a snack or 2 tablespoons as a meal. This is nuts and more. So if you're wanting quantity, you go with the better than peanut butter. But if you want flavor, but still having the highest protein, then nuts and more. Now look right here. I want to point something out to you. Nuts and more is another peanut butter with more protein in it. You can use like P28 peanut butter. See, P28 peanut butter is really good too. I've never even seen it, looked for it, or anything else. So if you're interested in looking for that, that's fine. We don't sell it in the store or anything. We sell this one. But as a snack, this is a 0 on the weight loss meter. As a meal, it's a -1 on the weight loss meter. What I want you to know about that is, and the weight loss meter can change based on your use of the item. If you are using something as a snack, if that weight loss meter was a 0, was a negative number like this one, even if it was a -3 as a meal replacement or something like that, or part of a meal, if you use that as a snack, it's always going to go 0 on the weight loss meter, because snacks aren't necessary for weight loss and it's not expedient. So we give you a 0 on the weight loss meter for that, to show to you, hey, I got to make a decision here. Not going to help me, not going to hurt me, but it's not going to be expedient either. So that is why that's different right there. And then some cereals. Now there's lots and lots of cereals on the program, but these are the best ones to get started with. Kashigo Lean Original, K's Natural Cereal. K's Natural Cereal, or K's products in general, are going to be some of the absolute healthiest that you can buy, and they are excellent for fat loss. K's Natural stuff. We sell in the store protein puffs, cookie bites, little crunchies things, and then we sell their cereal too, so that's really good. High-Low Nutritious Living is also really great. You could do 1 to 1.5 cups of those, and you could do one of your approved milks. And then the condiments, I'm not going to reread those because we've already gone over condiments. Now let's have a look at these restaurants. I'm also not going to read all of these restaurants. I'm going to hit a few, but this is what I want you to do about restaurants. I want you to go to the restaurant guide and look up the restaurants that you frequent the most often, scan and see if any of the little listed out items look appealing to you, then click on that and open it. It's very important that you don't just assume that it can be ordered the way that it's served at the restaurant. You open it up and you read how to order it. So let's say that you're going to order the grilled chicken salad from Zaxby's. You would say grilled chicken salad, no croutons, no fried crunchy things, and no bread. Now let's say that you like cucumbers. Ask them to add some extra cucumbers. The cheese that's on there, you can still have that. That's no big deal as long as it's not overdone. So that's how you would order that. But any restaurant, you'll want to know how to order that. And so familiarize yourself with the restaurants that you go to the most. So you don't need to focus on absolutely everything that's approved in the program. You just need to focus on the things that you do the most often. So let's have a look at Chick-fil-A, because man, you're driving home from work and you've picked up the kids and all kinds of stuff's going on and you just need something simple for dinner. Go through the Chick-fil-A drive-through and you can order Chick-fil-A. So what we can eat would be 8, this is not everything, this is just the quick and easy meals. 8 to 12 grilled nuggets with a side salad. If you are willing to give up 4 nuggets to get the 8 fried, which I am, you could do that with the side salad. I then use the light Italian dressing. I don't use the whole packet. I'm not a dressing person, but I have just drizzle it over the top, eat it, and if I need another little drizzle, I drizzle it. That's the way I do that. You can also have the fried filet, the spicy fried filet, and the grilled filet. No bun, of course, and order it with a side salad. If you are a person that desperately needs a bun or something like that, then if you're going home to eat your food with your family, then you can just put it in a tortilla or put it in approved bread when you get home. But if you have a survival kit with you, which we really should have all the time if that's important to you, then see, I don't need a survival kit because I don't make all these things that are important to me. I don't make having bread ultra important. I can happily eat a grilled filet or a fried filet without a bun and be happy. So I don't need that. But if you do, then you need to have a survival kit prepared and ready to go. And then if you want to do a diet lemonade there, because their diet lemonade is so good, you can do that. It is considered an extra because it's got calories. See, their diet lemonade has extras. But if you just want to do a 0-calorie drink, that's fine, or unsweet tea or water, whatever's fine there. Let's see. So Shonda is asking what you would put in a survival kit. So in the survival kit, so some people carry around those little salad sprinkles so that they come in like a seasoning jar. You can do salad sprinkles on salads instead of dressings. A tortilla, a piece of bread, maybe your favorite meal replacement. Let's say I absolutely love the oatmeal protein pies from the Shabola store. And in fact, I went to a luncheon today. At the luncheon that I went to today, they were serving hamburgers and hot dogs in buns with chips. Not happening. Not happening. That is Fat Bus City. And you know what? I feel bad for those people standing around eating that. I think gross. I mean, I feel bad for them. I got to eat an oatmeal protein pie. Let me just tell you, it tasted way better than what they were eating. Way better than what they were eating. So I keep oatmeal protein pies on hand. The Power Crunch bars are excellent. Power Crunch bars have micro proteins in there, which make their protein very, very absorbable. And so I would have one of those in there. What else do people keep in their survival kit? Just like condiments and things that you might want to use when you're out at a restaurant. Oh, and by the way, Jason has done an entire video on survival kits. If you go into Jason's corner, I think, in the video library, and you can watch it, and he'll teach you some things that you could put in a survival kit, which would be awesome. Okay, and Mexican restaurant, you could do a bowl of chicken soup, no rice. You can have 3 soft chicken tacos, but use your own tortilla there. Take out the insides of those 3 tacos, but put it in your 1 tortilla. You could do cheese dip at a Mexican restaurant. Just ask them to bring you bell pepper strips. You could do that. You could take some bonitos for yourself. That might go in a survival kit too, bonitos, if you eat. I quit eating Mexican a long time ago because it never made me feel good. I always felt nasty after eating it. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't taste good at the time. I felt bad after. Oh, Mighty Muffin. Okay, let me come back to that, Sherry. I'm going to come back to the Mighty Muffin, okay? But let's look down here. You could do quarter pounder at McDonald's on your own bread. Wendy's over a side salad. They quit making a side salad, but Wendy's chili is a superfood. You can eat it by itself if you want to, but people really liked it over the side salad that they quit making. Okay, so a lady at class tonight was saying that she was going to Cracker Barrel tomorrow. We were all like, yeah, that's going to be really easy because grilled fish, grilled chicken, green beans, something like that. So any restaurant where you can order a meat and a green, you're good. Just have to remember that meat at a restaurant is considered a 4. Even if when you cooked it at home, it would be a category 1. Chicken breast at a restaurant is a 4 because you don't know what oil they cooked it in. But anyway, I'm not going to read those. Y'all familiarize yourself with that. I really want Travis to put me a block right here about meal replacements. In the Shibboleth new member fast track group, I have an entire post on my 10 favorite meal replacements. So please go in there and look at that. But I'm going to talk about the Mighty Muffin. Sherry, I ate about 30 Mighty Muffins in my first 20 days. I don't eat nearly as many now, but I'm telling you, when you're first getting started, you just want to have what's going to keep you safe, that's filling, and that tastes good. And the Mighty Muffin fits the bill. So we're going to go right here. Walmart has them. They just don't carry as many flavors as we do. We carry a lot of flavors, and it's fun to have all those variety, but Walmart carries them. I've also seen them at Kroger too. Okay, but let's talk about the Mighty Muffin. The Mighty Muffin is not a recipe. It is simple, super simple. There's some flavors right there. It is considered a meal replacement. So when you are journaling, when it asks you what category that's in, just simply write MR, MR. It's short for meal replacement. Oh, awesome. That's great. I don't know what Walmart you're at, but if they had 6 flavors, buy them because that is excellent. I usually see about 3 at my Walmart, so good. Okay, so let me just look at this with you real quick. Do you see these stars right here? If you really like an item, please take the time to go in there and give it a rating because it helps other people see if they might like that item too. Look at this. 252 other people have hearted that they like Mighty Muffins, and this is a -3 on the weight loss meter, so it's excellent for fat loss, and the portion is 1. Awesome. Okay, well, up here in Georgia, we don't have nearly as many flavors, but I'm glad you have those down in Florida. Yeah. Okay, y'all are gonna laugh at this probably, but I had a buggy one time. Excuse me, I did not get a buggy when I went into Walmart. I went by the aisle that had Mighty Muffins. They had a whole bunch of muffins. I mean, like crazy amounts of them. I walked back to the front. I got a buggy. I bought 80 Mighty Muffins. My buggy was just full of Mighty Muffins. Anyway, it's funny. Okay, but there's the Mighty Muffin. What you do with it is you pour in 1/4 of a cup of water in it, mix it up, sit it in your microwave, and cook it for 45 seconds. Now, I'm not a big person. I'm not a big microwaver of food. So what I did was I do 1/3 of a cup of water, which is just a little bit more water to give it a little bit more liquid movement. I pour it into 3 pancakes on my griddle. Super simple, super easy. I don't have to really clean up much, just wipe off the griddle, you're done with that. And so I made it into 3 little pancakes, and then I just sit and eat them. You know what I used to do when they had movies at the movie theater? I would take them in a Ziploc bag in my purse and sit there and eat my double chocolate Mighty Muffin. That took away the desire to have some type of chocolate at the movie theater. I would eat a Mighty Muffin in there, which was great. And then let's just read below. It says a description. 1 is a meal replacement. You can have half as a snack. Let me just tell you, it's probably not going to happen that you eat half of it. So just meal replacement. And then it says, I add slightly more water for a deliciously moist muffin. Also, it can change the way that if you microwave it, you can increase or decrease the seconds. And then it says nutrition info for different flavors. Nutrition info for different flavors may vary slightly, but all flavors are approved. There is also a video here if you want to watch whatever. There are little hidden videos and nuggets all over this website. It's like finding like a gold nugget when I get something like that. I didn't even know there was going to be a video there. But look, there is somebody who's put in Mighty Muffin cake cookies. All that is putting them in smaller amounts on the griddle and making them like a cookie. But anyway, and here's a list of all the people have said you could buy Mighty Muffins at all these places too, which is great. So that is what a Mighty Muffin is, Sherry. And so when you are making your meal plan, when you're preparing yourself to eat this lifestyle, just keep in mind you can choose from 4 different areas that I consider it, 4 different areas. simple food combining. To me, that's just like cooking different things in the pots and pans on the stove. You're going to put this one with this one and this one. It's going to all be insulin controlled. Okay. You can also pick recipes, but make sure you read your recipe and you put that with a lean protein or a fibrous carb if that needs to happen. And then find some meal replacements that you like, because they are good for easy, quick meals. They're also, let me just put it to you this way, they're excellent for fat burning. And here's why. You are portion controlling so well with that, because there is no chance of getting over portioned. It's already portioned for you. And then the other thing is restaurants. So there's 4 different areas that you want to just start familiarizing yourself with what you can have. And then you apply our Shibboleth Shield, which is your bulletproof shield. A bulletproof shield is there to protect you. And if you use those daily disciplines in the way that they're meant to be used, you will have excellent results, excellent results. And so get your water in, journal your foods, combine foods in a way that control insulin. And when we say combine foods in a way that control insulin, you know, we're talking about all those whole foods and stuff, but there's a lot more than whole foods on the program, because we want you to know how to eat everything that you might like to eat. So we just teach you all of that. But no matter what, even if you're not combining foods, you're eating something that is controlling insulin. And then portions, important, because there's 3,500 calories in a pound of fat, and you've got to be in a calorie deficit of 3,500 to lose 1 pound of fat. And we supercharge that by insulin control. And then timing. You just don't want to be grazing and overeating like in meals, up to 3 meals a day. And if you have a moment of mental weakness, you can use freebies and extra and a snack. All of that is allowed, but not expedient. Okay, so you have to determine what works best for you. I have enjoyed answering questions and teaching you this tonight. I hope that you have had a great time. I hope that you've learned some things that you can start applying tomorrow, because I want to hear from you by the end of the week that you've lost 7 pounds in 7 days, because I really believe that you can do that. Make sure to watch the post that comes out in the new member fast track group every single morning, because you know how I kept going back to the website tonight? That's what I'm showing you, how to use all these awesome and cool features. Oh, Brenda, that is going to be in the Shibboleth new member fast track group. It's actually going to be posted in about 5 minutes at 9:15. So it'll be in there. Are you in that group yet? I'm pretty sure I put you in there this week. Didn't you ask to be in there? Yeah, awesome. It's going to be shortly posted right there in that group. If you did not get to participate in this morning's post, go back to this morning's post. It is called Day 2. Part 1 of Day 2, because there's 2 parts to Day 2, because this is the second part of Day 2. And then tomorrow morning, Day 3 will come out. Then Day 4, Day 5, and you do those. Part of that is you watching all the 14 little Shibboleth fast track videos, taking the test at the end, and figuring out what you're going to eat. And then we get started. We live this lifestyle together. And if you want to join me in the mornings on the Shibboleth public page on Facebook, please do. It's called The Shibby Show. And we just have some morning motivation, a daily devotion, and we just focus in on what we're going to do for the day. Chad says, what category do you put your meal replacements? Like, it's just MR. So when it asks for the category, just simply type in MR for meal replacement. You don't have to categorize it like that. Awesome. Andrea says, I'm on the list so I can see part 1 of Day 2. Oh, am I on the list? Andrea, are you asking if you're in the Shibboleth new member fast track group? Is that what you're asking? You're welcome, Chad. Okay, honestly, I don't know if you are, because you would have to request to be in the group, and there's a lot of people that request to be in the group, so I don't have those things memorized, but I will go look. Let's see, Andrea, what's your last name? Okay. So this is the new member fast track group, if y'all want to see that. Right, Andrea, that's right. But I can't add anybody to the group unless you ask to join it. Okay, so you would have to physically ask to join this group. Andrea, S-O-R-E-L-S. Oops, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I typed in the wrong thing. Andrea, S-O-R-R-E-L-S. Yeah, Andrea, you're in there. You're in there. So all you have to do, let me just show y'all. In fact, there was just, yeah, you're good. You don't need to ask. See, right here, there's 7 people wanting in the group right now. So when I get off of here, I'll go check out and see who they are and let them in. But what you do is you treat this group like an electronic textbook. A textbook is written in a way that teaches somebody something from beginning to end. And that is what, now you're always going to be applying this, so you'll continue to advance in your knowledge, but this is to help you get started. So here's part 2, day 2. The same video that I did last night, I go ahead and post it right here in case somebody can access it, because sometimes YouTube takes forever to process a video. And so there's the meal plan link that we used tonight, Brenda. There it is right there. It's already posted. It just posted. There's day 1. It was yesterday, and it tells you what to do. Watch this webinar if you were not able to participate live. Please comment below introducing yourself to the group. We want to get to know each other because this is a group of like-minded people trying to achieve the same goals that you are. Download the 99-cent Shibboleth Journal app. I use it for journaling, quick and easy, but most of the time I do everything on the website. So it's a convenience tool. You are not going to use the journal app to learn the program. You learn the program by watching videos and other things, but it is a quick and handy app. Then it just tells you if you've downloaded the app, sync the food library, recipe library, and restaurant guide. That is because those things are always being updated, and when you just download the app, you might not have the most current, so just sync it. And then there's some meal plans in here that you can look at. There's Brenda, there's Brenda right there, and she's saying hello to everybody, which you can do that in this group. This was the video from this morning, okay? Now, if you look at this video, it tells you, now you really could sit down and watch all 14 videos at one time. They take less than an hour, just a little bit less than an hour to watch them. But if you don't have time for that, I have broken them down into like 3 or 4 a day to make it real easy. So it tells you to watch these. It tells you to click watched after you've watched them. It tells you to find the 10 blue links above the fast track videos to open and print the ones that you want. It tells you to confirm your email in your profile tab, and then it tells you to complete your profile, including weights and measurements, and then it asks you to comment below with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. See, nobody did that. So I'm wondering who is watching it. Nobody did that. But anyway, if you were to watch this video is a video of me showing you how to do all these things, so that you're not wandering around in that website wondering where you're supposed to do those things. I'm going to show you by watching that video. Now, I expect those of you that are watching here to go back in there and give me a lean protein and a fibrous carb, okay, please. So at least now I'm doing something every day that people are using. Just joking with you. But that is where you go to find those things, and that will be every single morning a post showing you how to dig in and use that website. All right. Well, I will see y'all hopefully in the morning on the Shibby Show. I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful night. And if you have not asked to be in the Shibboleth New Member Fast Track group, you just search for the group on Facebook and say, ask to join. Please answer the questions, though. I get annoyed when people ask to be in groups and don't answer the questions, because it's easier for me to let you in if you've answered the questions. All right. Y'all have a great night. And we'll see you hopefully in the morning for the Shibby Show. Bye. You're welcome, Brenda. Bye, everybody.